Yes, indeed, and welcome to Hazardous Endeavors.
Woo!
Yes.
Hi.
Wonderful. So lively. This is Digital and Dice Actual Play Podcast, Digital and D&D 5th edition, etc. I don't know. I had a shtick at some point. It's lost. It's gone.
You already did the intro.
No, that was the soft intro before the live stream. Now
this is the hard intro.
Now you've ruined it. It's okay.
Well, that's all right.
Just go watch the live stream and you'll catch the initial ramble.
The morning ramble.
Morning ramble. Yeah. Steven sounds far away, I hear.
Do I?
So you might be far away.
And he's
I may be.
That's okay. Thank you for letting us know. Perhaps if
No, that's what I thought.
Yeah, you're good.
If you sit like this.
If you unplug your mic and plug it back in, should actually be fine. Theoretically.
Beware of popping sounds.
Yeah. Should be fine. Go ahead. Technical issue. Let's get that resolved here momentarily. Okay.
Oh.
There we go.
Hello.
Yep. Looks like you're
Is that a
coming
little
through.
bit better?
Say a thing?
I did say a thing.
Okay,
Is
looks
that a
like
bit better?
Sounds like it's coming through.
Okay.
Worst case scenario, move that mic one closer to you and then just have it closer to your mouth.
Fine.
There we go.
Do we need a second go for this?
You know, we might actually need a second go.
Second go.
Might make it so that it's like this one.
Yep.
We had a much shorter preamble this time, so that's fine. I'll add the intro in post.
Like, thanks for being
Yay.
with us, everyone.
Yeah.
Love you.
Yes.
Kisses.
Tis great.
You guys want to hear the song again?
Love you.
We done?
Our wonderful chat moderator over there is going to help take care of us, so thank you for being there.
Is this a bit better?
Should be, theoretically.
One can only hope.
Right.
Because I feel like I'm filleting the microphone.
Are you not?
Well, I mean, that's probably for the best.
As far as I can tell over there, you look like you're coming through just fine.
Oh, good. That is good.
Yeah. All right. Well, on a onesie and a twosie and a... Welcome to Hazardous Endeavors.
Hello.
Yes, indeed. Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition actual play podcast brought to you by Digital and Dice. I am your host, Mark. I will be GMing for you tonight, and joining me are the Digital and Dice players, voiceover guy Brian.
Hello.
Sound guy Steven.
Greetings.
Wizard James.
Hello.
The Lady Crass.
Brian touched my thigh
Did he?
with his own thigh.
Oh, good lord. I'm going to have to separate you, aren't I?
I feel uncomfortable.
That's pretty normal. So, where we last left our intrepid adventurers, you had made it finally to the city-state of Anra'Lathan. You had made your way into the somewhat hidden city in the large waterfall basin as it is floating there magically.
So you're saying we haven't so far got blown up as we are living in this terrible place where apparently everything is a wizard tower?
Correct.
I believe you have to be in a place longer than a month to be considered living there.
Also true. I mean, residency is depending.
Especially when apparently they've got like this whole citizen class thing going on where we are visiting, but we are not citizens.
Correct.
We have a citizen with us, yes?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Yes, indeed, which is why you're able to actually make your way through certain parts of the city because you are being escorted by a citizen. So as you find yourself in the city, one thing you are noting meandering through the streets as we continue on with what you had done last session, you'll note that anyone who looks like they are a wizard, people who are dressed in robes, are being basically given preferential treatment. You see them treated as if they were nobility in some of the other cities you've been in. People
They had the fast pass at Disney.
Some of them are getting bowed to here and there. The people seem to be kind of showing them their wares, even bypassing other people who are walking by who look like they might be maybe a little bit less well off. So it certainly seems like the wizards here are treated quite a bit differently than the others.
Something foul here smells in the state of Anra'Lathan.
You also note that they are doing this for Elliot as he is walking through. People are giving him nods. There actually have been one or two people who have given very curt bows as they pass. And though you do also note that there are other casters here, but they're not being treated at the same level as what you've seen with Elliot and some of the others. Elliot, you would know this is because you are a graduate. There are lots of people who do come here to be a part of and attend the college, but not everyone graduates. There are those who wash out who don't have the magical acumen to continue. So those who graduate are treated better because they are an actual full-fledged mage. So you would know that and just kind of, you're kind of used to it.
Yep. Well, newly used to it.
Right. The other part, of course, that you guys did last episode is you made your way through one of the market district areas in the kind of the prime spots that you're able to get to, and you had stopped by a particular vendor who was selling creatures to be familiars.
Yeah, and I had a little bit of a problem there, but yeah, a problem of conscience.
They had a baby angel.
They had a baby angel,
little
and
baby
that's
angel.
not right. That's not right.
That's fair. So
Angels belong in heaven.
you had taken a look there, but you were on your way to one of the residential quarters where the family of the Frostmoons reside. So Elliot was bringing you to his family home to, stop in, see the fam.
Have a little bit of a rager at the homestead.
It will be lit fam.
It might be.
It might be.
Right. So you had made your way to the actual entrance to the residential area. There is a bridge spanning from the large kind of floating island area that you were on to a separate floating island. This one even has another smaller island that you go to, just not more than maybe 40 feet across, where this bridge connects to, and then another one goes into the residential.
So it's like hopping from island to island, or is it an island within an island within an island?
Hopping from island to island. This one is free floating.
Okay, no islandception.
Correct. At least not yet. So as you make your way over the first bridge, you get a absolutely gorgeous view of the surroundings. The waterfalls that are streaming down in the surrounding area, the trees poking up over the tops where there are still a decent amount of growth on the ridge. You see the mists playing with the light where rainbows are scattered amongst the areas lower down. You can't see the water below as the churn of the water and the mist that comes up from the falls makes it into just almost like a bank of clouds.
I wonder if they really just have no problem with organized crime because they don't know it's there. They just throw the bodies off the bridges and everything. That's just, I suppose it's one way to get rid of things.
Carried away with the currents.
Wizards have other ways to get rid of bodies.
Oh, I suppose that's actually quite accurate.
I am concerned.
Well, it's just why we tend to keep those who don't understand magic away from those who do. Experiments are dangerous for the mundane.
For the mundane.
I am concerned again.
Why?
Because wizard towers are dungeons that are built upwards.
No. Because an experiment is dangerous for the mundane, and we have ways to get rid of people.
You've seen how many ways I can get rid of people, Lindo.
Oh, but are you part of a wizard mafia? Is that what this is?
Gosh, no. Mages just need. It's just very dangerous for people who don't understand magic to fiddle with magic. This area has lots of magic to it.
Oh, like the potions in the tower.
Yes, exactly.
I was about to
have
say,
learned a
does the city consider us mundane? Or do you consider us mundane?
I do not consider you mundane. You are very interesting.
I know.
They would consider Lindo mundane. You not a caster. You get your magic from somebody else. So it's not as cool. And bards are okay.
Okay.
Did you hear
I
that?
materialize magic out of my sheer awesomeness, and you're saying it's okay?
You didn't learn it.
Yeah, I did. I learned to be this awesome.
What do you mean I am mundane? Look at me. I'm amazing.
How much magic have you cast, Mr. Lindo?
I create the magic of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I had a stone once, and when I say hopscotch, it went off. That's
It's true.
magic.
Did anyone ever take that from you?
No.
It is in a box.
Okay, got it.
In my pouch.
Gotcha. Noted.
For later.
But I consider how Anra'Lathan chooses their nobles better than what Dariel chooses.
I mean, yeah, but I think most things of nobility, regardless of such, are sort of bupkis.
How many islands do we have to
earn
walk on?
our nobility.
I mean, how
Fair.
how many islands do we have to walk on before we actually get to the place where we don't have to walk any longer?
A number which the DM is going to say in just a second.
Sorry, you were saying how far do you have to go to?
How many islands do I have
Yes.
to cross?
And I would cross 500 isles, and I would cross 500 more.
I would not.
Right. You make your way over to that small island, which is just basically a small overlook park. There are a couple benches and a low stone wall for people to relax. Although it's empty at this point, except for a couple birds that fly off as you make your way over. But as you cross over the other bridge, you make your way to another wall, this one guarded by two of the very similar looking guards to what you had seen before.
Hello.
Who they seem, again, not to be like on guard so much as they are just kind of relaxing by the gates. But as you approach, they stand at attention. They see
knights.
you, and they both give a little bit of a head nod.
Hello, me and my companions are going to my house.
I am the mundane
I'm going
one.
to the... Thanks, Lindo. Lindo Espina, the beautiful Thorn, is a member of the Dawn Guard, as well as Wilf, Tradewind, and Jaxom Shaw, also members of the Dawn Guard.
I've got my magic mark.
I got one somewhere on my tabard.
But I'm just going home to the residence of the Frostmoons. I am Elliot Frostmoon.
Absolutely, Master Frostmoon.
Thank you.
By your leave. To which they just watch as you make your way through.
How do they know that you are not lying? How do I know that I do not come up here and say, hello, my name is Elliot Frostmoon. I am obviously me. It's okay. How do you get by that?
My necklace.
Oh, you're shiny.
Oh, yeah.
Aha.
So, making your way across the other district, decidedly different than the one you just left. Whereas the initial district was a mix of various different kinds of buildings, some human make, some elven make, some dwarven even. The place you're entering now has a lot more taller structures, much more designed in a particular art style. The kind of smooth, almost marble-like quality of the walls of a lot of the buildings, high windows, and multiple stories.
Is it Baroque?
Not quite Baroque.
They're all wizard towers, is what they are. We are surrounded by dungeons.
Some of the buildings are a bit more square, covering a lot more ground, but all of them do go up multiple stories. And several of them seem to have hanging gardens that are drooping over the edges. You see creeping vines and blooming flowers on all of them in just a rainbow of colors.
Some plants in dungeons will grab you and try to choke you out, so be careful. You never know if one of those is like
Mr.
a shambling
Wilf.
mound or something.
Mr. Wilf,
Oh, yeah, those are terrible.
would you not call my country an evil dungeon trying to kill you?
I mean, that seems fair.
Well, I mean, I apologize for disparaging, but I've had unfortunate experiences with wizard towers and just generally have preconceived notions of wizard towers based on unfortunate
And
experiences.
why have you had dealings with sadomasochistic flora?
Well,
You just come across them in the forest.
I heard a tale of a root that is the most obnoxious root ever conceived.
I mean, one time I was stabbed by a tree.
Also, Lindo was almost killed by a tree last time I let you guys all wander off without me.
A tree?
A tree.
That is true.
It would not stand up to our magic.
Obviously,
Right.
burnt it to a crisp.
So, making your way through the streets, which wind lazily through this district, whereas the other district had a bit more of a grid to it, this one seems to have kind of a meandering path that makes its way around some of the other buildings until you get to almost a courtyard area where there are gates leading off into different front yards, courtyards. Elliot makes his way to one just across the courtyard. And you note that there is what looks like a wrought iron gate with a symbol of a moon on it.
Oh, a moon.
Yeah.
I see the thing. It's the frost.
It doesn't
moon.
seem that chilly.
Well, I mean, it's cold iron.
Ha 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 ha.
Yep. Upon making your way there, you flip the latch for the gate, open it up, and make your way to the front door.
I walk in.
Okay.
I don't knock.
All right.
It's my house.
Oh, okay, I come into it. Do we take our shoes off or do we leave them on?
Yeah, we follow in like, those weird, awkward teenagers when your kid comes home.
So, as you make your way into a foyer, basically, a little bit of a sitting area in the entrance.
You mean a foyer?
You know,
Foyer.
when you know what happens when foyers fight? You have to fight foyer with foyer.
Is that so?
That's so dumb. I can't even keep a voice for that. It's stupid.
And that's where the GM takes 2d4 psychic damage.
Just about, to be honest.
To be fair, I'm still, my mind's still back at the park that you were talking about earlier. The Overlook Park.
Oh, yeah.
Is there a child there playing there named Johnny?
There's not a hotel there either. So, making your way in, there is a bit of a sitting area that opens to a spiral staircase that leads further up, and doors to your left and right. Hearing the door opening, you hear someone moving in one of the other rooms, and sure enough, just after a few moments, Anavar Frostmoon, the elf that you had met before, comes walking out, and he seems a little bit more comfortable than the last time you saw him. Before, you saw him in full regalia, acting on behalf of the city after what had happened in Dario. Now he's wearing just kind of comfortable clothing, just a pair of pants, and looks like a mid-thigh length kind of top robe, just very loose, in a very nice dark blue with lace down the front and back. And he comes out, he sees the four of you standing there. He goes, yes, Elliot, welcome. Come here, you're home.
I am.
And he walks up and gives you a big hug. But it's still, he holds you close for just a moment and then steps back, and he seems genuinely happy. And it is very good to see you again.
Hello.
And in much better circumstances than the last time. Please, you are welcome in our home. Please make yourself comfortable.
Oh, thank you.
Did Elliot just give him the cold shoulder?
Oh.
I think that is called a hug. With hugging.
I've heard that joke from you people at least 3 times this week.
Yeah, it's pretty chill.
Stop. Even I am getting tired of it. And that is saying something.
I'll put on tea if that is okay. Would that be all right?
Lovely. Thank you, Mr. F.
Of course, no problem.
I like tea.
He actually makes a motion, and there's this feeling of like a wind moving by, and then you start hearing, in what you presume to be a kitchen area, you start hearing some things moving around, and a fire starting in their stove.
Who's Mr. F?
Mr. Frostmoon.
Oh. It is a nickname.
Not to be confused with Mr. Frostmoon.
Well, yeah.
Yes. Emmet is out at the moment, but he'll be returning shortly.
Mr. Frostmoon and Mr. Frostmoon.
No,
How do you
well,
not get them
it's-
confused?
Well, one's Dr. Frostmoon and the other is Mr. Frostmoon. This is Dr. Frostmoon.
Indeed.
That is
Sorry,
Dr.
Dr. F.
No problem.
What's up, Doc?
Well,
I'm going to murder my friends.
your restraint is admirable. Well, obviously you've traveled far if you need to relax. I mean, unfortunately, we don't have the rooms necessary to put you up at accommodations that would be
I don't
preferential.
really prefer having my friends be stuck in this house and only this house while we're here if I have to leave.
Understandable.
So I was thinking about putting them in the residence quarter.
The mundane corner.
Yes, of course. I would be more than happy to pay for their lodgings while they're here. It is the least we could do for what you've done.
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
Free is good.
Good. Well, anything that you need, of course, all you need to do is ask. Our home is your home for your stay. What are your plans? What are you here for?
A number of things, actually. One, to do the research that we discussed last time I saw you.
One.
We also have a special message that we are bringing to the council from...
Captain Donovan, I've already spoken to you about that as well.
That is 2.
And 3, on our travels... I'm sorry, Lindo. During our travels, we fought a tree.
He kind of blinks a few times. Yes?
Lindo, I believe you have a package with a stone in it?
It's definitely a black thing, but I don't know if it is a stone. I pull out of my pouch and ta-da!
I would be careful about touching it. It seems that people who have the physiology of magic have issues touching this particular stone.
I would like my sash back, though.
Fiddles with magic, including making wild magic happen if I cast a spell.
He was halfway to grabbing it when he stops and pulls his hand back and looks at it. Thank you, but no, please.
Are you sure?
Please, I insist.
Are you sure?
I am very sure. That is strange. You brought it here to examine it and have the. Very well.
It worries me. Stuff like that, especially around Anra'Lathan, since it was found on the way, is dangerous for our country.
Yes. Who were you planning on bringing it to? I mean, it is not necessarily my area of expertise, but
I figured I would start with you because you know more people in the city than me. To send it to someone better.
I know. It was very disappointing.
Perhaps
What's in the box?
Professor Thistlethumb might, as a transmutation specialist, will have a better opportunity to study it a little bit closer.
Okay, that would make sense, yes.
I can send her a message and see if she's available, perhaps this evening, if you wish.
Yes, please.
Of course. Then we will do that.
Maybe we should figure out how to do that, Tom.
I don't know what we're talking about, but yes.
Very well. Please make yourself comfortable. He motions to the room that he came out of, and as you make your way in, you see a very nicely appointed sitting room. It's not huge, but it definitely accommodates all of you fairly easily. Somewhat overstuffed couches with carved wood along the tops and the sides, showing off kind of a swirling wind pattern along them.
It's fairly plush.
Lovely. I'll just climb my way up there and...
You also note that the
you need
walls
help?
of this room are
I could help you if you want to.
literally floor to ceiling bookshelves that are stacked with books of all sorts and all sizes.
Do you, by any chance, have any picture books?
I might have something that you might find interesting, of course.
Oh, I got this one. Hold on.
Oh,
that's my box.
Lindo,
Not in good company.
That's my key.
No.
Oh, it's all right. It's just,
Elliot looks terrified.
just a bit of a penny dreadful.
Okay.
Do you pull it out, or are you like still in the middle of looking for it?
I'm looking through all my stuff, man. I got all these things. I got like 5 pairs of clothing.
Okay.
You
Well,
don't understand. You have to roll tight pants in a very particular way to pack them all together.
there looks like he's about to point you in the direction of something to read when the door opens again, and you hear from the entry hall, "Oh, they're in a tizzy up there. I can't figure out exactly why they're..." And walking into the doorway, you see a human man somewhat balding on the top, ring of hair around the side, the starting of a short beard.
Hello.
Pair of glasses, kind of square framed, wearing kind of a brown, just kind of looks like a traveling robe. A very good make, and with various things hanging from a belt across his chest. And he stops in the doorway. He looks,
Hello.
Elliot! Elliot, you're home! And he comes just bustling over. A bit of a rotund man, but he comes over and just grabs Elliot and picks him up and swings him back and forth several times.
This is a little embarrassing.
Oh, we're not out and about. You'll be fine. Oh, it's
You're
good to see
fine.
you home. Oh, and I've been worried. You've been gone, and all the terrible things we've heard. And
They were terrible.
You went to the rotting hills of all places. God forbid.
The center of it.
Doesn't it just melt your frozen heart?
I would give you a hand, but
Oh, my stars above. You've gone through quite the trials, haven't you? And these must be your friends.
Yes.
I've heard so much. Anavar has told me of the things that you have gone through, and
We're the ones who chopped off his head.
it's good. You must be Wilf. Come here. And he
yes.
walking, gives you a hug.
I definitely will.
Oh yes. Your feats of wit and valor are second to none. And you must be Lindo.
Yes, I'm Lindo Espina, the beautiful Thorn.
Oh, your name
Lovely.
is very fitting for you. Yes. Welcome to my home. Jaxom Shaw, noble Jaxom Shaw.
He's back. A little worse for wear, but
Yes. It is sad. We will have to see if there's anything that can be done for you while you stay. You'll be staying, of course. Our home is your home. If he hasn't, Anavar just kind of smiles and nods in the background.
I think Dr. App said that there was not room for us to stay here too
No,
long.
it's all right. We're going to be taking. It's all right. We're going to be taking some rooms in the district so that we could have a little bit more moving around for us non-citizen bits.
That is, okay. If that is what makes you more comfortable, we'll obviously pay for your rooms and your lodgings, and we will take care of it. Right, Anavar? And Anavar just smiles and nods. Of course, we will. Yes. Yes. Is the tea on?
I believe the
hold on.
unseen servant is on it.
They never get the ratio right, and he trundles out of the room. Anavar just sits himself down on the side of a couch and just smiles.
bit energetic, that one.
Well, he's very excitable. He's very happy. He's more excited than he's been in a while. There's been a couple of things that have kept him busy, so this gives him an opportunity to
Unwind?
Yes, I would say let his hair down, but
He does not have hair.
Lindo.
I've been giving him a little bit of an elbow about it. I've told him to go down to the apothecary and
Get it fixed?
Yes, but he says it keeps his head warm in the sun.
I don't get.
Sounds like it works for him. Sounds lovely.
Indeed. Well, again, you hear more. You hear some clanging and then some rattling as coming around the corner. Emmet has a tray with several different teacups, and he brings them in and hands them out.
Thank you.
And as you do that, Anavar just makes a motion, and you see what looks to be a sugar dish float its way in and put down on the table between you. Please relax. And of course, if there's excuse my rudeness. Have you been enjoying the city so far?
It's been very pretty.
I saw multiple islands.
See all the towers, many towers.
I saw one island, and then I walked to a different island, and then I walked to a different island, and then I was here.
Anavar looks like he's about to comment on it. Emmett's like, yeah, there's so many,
There's
right?
so many islands.
And the views are spectacular, right? They're fantastic.
I did see a wall. It was a nice built wall.
Our neighbor, dear Elliot, they've been keeping birds, rare birds that they've brought in from some of the northern lands, and they're just the gorgeous birds. But the calls they make in the morning are just, they're
Obnoxious?
well, at first they were fantastic, and now they're it's the old hat, as it were. But you should hear them. Are you staying with us, Elise?
Yes.
Oh, very well. We do have room for...
You can hear the birds.
Obviously, if you're going to be staying there, we'll make sure that your room is dusted, and we've been keeping it clean, just like you left it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Thank you.
Of course. You must, of course, tell us about what you've been through and all the things, the trials and the fighting. It all sounds so terrifying, but I'd love to hear it.
Well, I would love to tell you about it. In fact, let me tell you the tale. As
I take this moment, because I've heard this particular story 8,000 times, to go over to my master and start showing him my spells that I've learned.
I don't suppose I have advantage on this.
You do. It's your story.
Yes! Marvelous!
Anavar steps off to the side with you and starts going over your list of spells and commenting on some of them, giving them like, oh, yes, of course. Oh, you found this one. Where did you find this one? And you basically embroiled in conversation to the side.
A 23 on telling the tale of going through the dread hills of rotting and terror, and then seeing the beautiful, noble martial.
Right.
And 18 to play guitar dramatically behind that.
Okay, so you put on a bit of a production. Emmett sits here the whole time and claps, and he punches the air when you tell something, suitably heroic, and he seems just wrapped up in the whole thing. Very, very excited.
Yes. We let the hand thing as sort of a noble sacrifice to getting through the temple of the terrible fell temple, instead of him trying to murder me.
Somber music for Zugtug.
Somber, sad
He almost
music
looks
for
like he's
Zugtug.
drawn to tears for that, and
It's all right. We all were.
I lean in every once in a while, the two of them, as when the dramatic license gets a bit out there.
fair. Okay. And for basically the rest of the afternoon, you tell the story, you have tea, they get some food, and you guys are fed and basically relax for the first time in quite a while in a very comfortable home that just feels homey. It is lived in, it is comfortable, the food is good, and the company is fairly good. Emmet is just thrilled to the nines that you are there, and basically any moment that anyone needs something, he goes rushing off to the kitchen or comes back, or he'll pull a particular thing off of the shelf and mention I picked this up and it reminds me of this thing, and it sounds like the thing you talked about in your story, and he'll go off on a little bit of basically a fanciful nonsense story about the thing, and he'll say as much about how he doesn't really know exactly where it came from, but he loves this particular thing because of it brings to mind the things that you have done and the things that you do. They're the stories that I read and the ones that I collect, but none of them really have that drive that the real stories of your adventures do.
Do you write?
Oh no! I do not have the hand for it. I'm a bit more of a technical work and numbers. I work with numbers.
That sounds
Interesting.
I won't bore you with my work, but hearing yours has brought a hint of adventure to my heart. So thank you very much. Yes.
Oh, thank you, Lushes.
At one point, Anavar has
calm
actually
down.
walked off to the kitchen area with Elliot, and you hear them muttering back and forth in the other room. Emmet actually, he leans back, looks out the doorway for them, and leans in, and goes, so, I have been collecting some stories. Elliot doesn't approve of them, but there's one particular grouping of stories. I've collected 3 volumes so far. He looks around. He actually goes over to one of the bookshelves and he scoots one of the larger books off to the side and reaches back behind them and he pulls out a small stack of what basically looks like parchment leaflets and he puts them down and you see 3 different stories of Thorn Manvilhammer.
I point and I gasp dramatically. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. And I take to my bag and I pull mine out. We're like twins!
May I see that?
Yes.
He takes it. Oh, he goes through the ones he has and says, this one, I don't have this one. Hold on. And he goes back over and he ruffles through and he pulls out what looks to be a duplicate of one of the ones he has. And he says, this one, I have another copy of, he looks over his shoulder again out the door and he says, it's a Thorn Manvilhammer and the Flaming Bush, if you know what I mean. Yes. I have an additional copy. Perhaps
the plant is on fire.
Yes. Perhaps you would be willing to do a trade.
Okay.
Yes.
This one you haven't read before.
I do like that one because the nice lady gave it to me, but if I...
Who gave you this?
The librarian at the Abbey
At Abbotsfield.
at Abbotsfield Abbey.
Hasn't finished reading it yet.
Well, I might have to reach out and perhaps if there's another fan out there we can exchange information. This is so glorious.
Like a little guild for book fans.
This would be amazing. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Here, please take this one.
Are you going to put this in my bag for now?
I find the woodcuts in that one to be very well done.
I pull it back out.
Tasteful or not tasteful?
I open it up.
He again looks over his shoulder. They are
A
very,
little bit of column A, a little
very
bit of column B.
detailed.
Oh yes.
Oh, I get it. Flaming bush.
Yes.
I didn't know fire freaks were like that.
Well, it is definitely not a plant.
But they are by no means thematically accurate. Please, they don't take everything you read in that with a grain of salt. But yes, enjoy, please. About the time that you and Anavar have finished up, and Emmett's over at one of the bookshelves putting a book away. He turns, and says, "Oh yes, welcome, yes."
That was so interesting.
Absolutely.
Insight check?
I'll go for it.
I can't believe how interesting everything you have been saying is.
Oh.
That is accurate.
Yep.
17.
17. The whole room's acting a little
I'm just chuckling.
strange. Well, except for Jaxom, who's laughing as he normally does when things happen around him.
I'm a huge fan of books.
It's true. Wilf is a great fan of books.
Yeah. Anavar says,
Don't really care.
well, I'm going to go send that message.
Although, gross.
Actually, no, but at this point, he would have already sent the message. To which there would be there's a little bit of a sound, almost like a bell chiming near the door. Anavar makes his way over and grabs a piece of parchment from what looks to be almost like a slot next to the door, opens it up and says, Professor Thistlethumb will be meeting you at one of the local taverns in the Common Quarter this evening.
Okay.
Would you like me to come with you, or would you prefer to take care of this yourself?
I can do this.
Okay.
I'll be back, as soon as I'm able.
Very well. Obviously, we will be waiting for you here. If you need food, please just send a message and let us know, and we will prepare something.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We should probably make our way out into the Common Quarter. Yeah.
Finger guns.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Very well. Thank you. I will be seeing. I'll be seeing you later. Then, definitely.
Thank you so much. You've been so hospitable and wonderful. Thank you,
Dr. F, Mr. F.
Emmet stands next to Anavar, puts an arm around his shoulder, and says, "Come by anytime if there are more stories, please. I would love to hear more. It just, yes, Elliot, you are lucky indeed to find such stalwart friends.
Next time I'll tell you about the hopscotch escapade.
Oh, that sounds intriguing.
Oh, it good.
It's not as good as the levitation story.
At which point, when Elliot says that, both of them go stone face, and they kind of are looking everywhere but you guys. And Anavar just kind of straightens his robe for a moment. Emmet looks at you. Yes, well, we obviously don't get into that in polite company.
I'm sorry, what?
It is a story for another time, perhaps.
We'll hold you to that.
Don't. Anavar, at this point, has regained a slight bit of composure. It was lovely, again, to see you. Please, come by anytime. I understand you do need an escort, but if you need one, send a word and I will come find you and bring you wherever you need to go.
Thank you.
Can we hug?
was
You look like
very
a
nice to
hugger.
meet you.
Let's hug. We're hugging now. Okay, we're hugging.
Gentle pat on the back.
Yeah.
So, of course.
Yeah, we're hugging.
Yes. Thank you. Yes, Lindo. To which Emmet looks over. Lindo? I see. Yes, you pulled one over. I see. This, yes. Very, very good friends there, dear Elliot. Yes. Come here. He hugs both of you and yes.
I like
Up on
hugs.
that.
And okay, very well. So, please come again as you're seen out and you make your way out to the courtyard area. They wave as you make your way down the way.
I liked everything about that. I got a book.
You got a book?
I did.
Which book?
It is a very informational book. And then I got to hug a giant man. That was nice. And he had tea. You guys are nice.
It was
Yes, they are.
great. Yeah, no.
Although gross. Gross.
You wanna see?
No, absolutely, positively, no.
It is not about plants. It's not what you think.
Well, yeah, no. See, minor illusion is to show like part of the cutout. So it's like
I don't need to know what my dads are looking at.
all right.
Just your dad.
I don't need no, gross.
And on that note, as you are making your way back into the central portion of the town, as you are heading towards the inn to meet up with Professor Thistlethumb, that is where we will end for this episode. So thank you, dear Digidicers. If you are joining us for the live show, we will be back after our intermission. If you are listening to us on the RSS podcast feed, we will see you next episode. And until then, dear Digidicers,
Game on, Internets!